All right, here we go. So I have to, got it, okay. This is my first time with the owl, so. I
It's
beg
all
your
right,
patience.
we'll muddle through.
All right, I call this regular meeting of the Administration Committee to order. Present are Mary McGrattan, Whit Irwin, myself, and Counselor Rodriguez. Citizen comments? Informational items, seeing none. Review and approval of prior meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of March 9th?
I make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes of March the 9th.
Oh, that's right. They were special meeting minutes. It says regular. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any edits, changes, comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Old business, none, new business. All right, this is going to be a quick meeting, guys. I move to recommend the town council appoint Mr. Gary St. Ville, D, 2 Thompson Street, Ledyard, as an alternate member to the Planning and Zoning Commission to complete a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2022, filling a vacancy left by Mr. White's Carver.
I'll second that.
All right, so I just want to share some highlights from his application. First of all, I love his reason for applying is to fulfill his civic duty. I appreciate that very much. He has background in civil engineering. He also is currently an alternate member on Inland and Wetlands. Any other comments, concerns, questions?
Not here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. Next item. Actually, Mary, would you do the next
Sure.
one?
I make a motion to recommend the town council appoint Mr. Joseph Gush, a Republican, 57 Town Farm Road, to the Permanent Municipal Building Committee to complete a 3-year term ending March the 26th, 2025, filling a vacancy left by Mr. McIntyre.
Second.
All right, thank you. So let me share a couple of highlights from his application. The wrong thing came up. There we go. I love his reason for applying is you asked for help. I love that too.
That's good. That's good. Eh?
All right, he's got some college under his belt, retired Master Chief in the Navy, plant manager, Knights of Columbus. Oh no, sorry. Grand Knight for the Lions. Okay, I said that wrong. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Not here.
All right. Ready to vote?
Yes.
All in favor of appointing Mr. Gush, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, item 3, discussion regarding Public Act 21-1, legalization of cannabis, marijuana, retail stores, and micro-cultivator. All right, we don't have to take any action on this tonight. This fact sheet was put forth by land use for inclusion in the Ledyard Events magazine, the one that will come out prior to the fall election. So, you know, it's for our review, but there is more of a discussion here. I am not clear about why we seem to be bypassing the provision in the statute or in the, all right, let me just read this. Section 83 and sections 83 and 84. This is Senate Bill 1201. Effective July 1, 2021, if at least 10% of a municipality's electors petition for a vote to allow certain marijuana sales, it must be done at least 60 days before a regular election. If met, the municipality must hold a referendum to determine whether to allow the recreational sale of marijuana in the municipality or the sale of marijuana in one or more of the cannabis establishment license types. the law specified language to be used in the referendum question. So my concern, if this goes on the ballot, then I support the question as it's proposed. Shall the sale of recreational marijuana be allowed in the town of Ledyard? Of the three options that we were given, I think this is the most clear one. However, it is still not clear to me why we seem to be bypassing the provision to get 10% of our electors to petition to allow this to even be on. I understand that we can put it on anyway.
They don't even know. I'm sure most people out there have no clue about what they need to do if they're interested. So why don't we put something out there and say, if you're interested by, and you know, we have, the referendum has to be held 60 days before. It must be done at least 6 days before a regular election, you know, do it maybe in the summer and say, you know, we need to know your thoughts so that we can put this out there.
Mhm.
And
So-
because
So let them know that a petition is the next step if they're interested in
The
that.
That's
petition has to
correct.
be submitted at least 60 days before the election. Is that correct?
Be-
Or the referendum has to be
before a
held?
regular election.
Right.
So that the regular election would be, let's say, November 8th.
It would be the end of August, we get first week of September would be drop dead, but the
Okay, but I meant you'd have to do it. All right. So tell them is if anybody is interested in circulating a petition to get this on a ballot or to do a referendum, you know, do it now. It has to be done by. And tell them, because they're going to come and say, I didn't know, the usual excuses.
Mhm.
So give them the opportunity if they want to do it. If they don't,
the other thing as far as timing goes, I mean, if they wait to the last day of 60 days, that really doesn't give us enough time because the council needs to vote on the question so that we can give it to the clerk and the clerk can send the question to the Secretary of State.
Okay, that, I think that's fine, we could handle that, but to Mary's point, should we invite the electors to have a say before we just put it on the ballot?
so you're just, if we bypass the electorate and just put it on the ballot.
I don't like that idea, frankly.
Oh, all
I
right.
don't, I think we should put it out to the electors. Councilor Rodriguez?
Two questions. One question is, what happens if we take no action? Does it become automatically
Law.
law in Ledyard? That's the first question. The second one is, I am more than happy to spearhead this petition to get the signatures. I like doing things by the book because I'm afraid of mistakes being made or it coming back to hurt the town. So farmers market a couple of times in the summertime in June. And I think we could get the 10% electorate. And I'm happy to spearhead that if you need me to.
Councilor Irwin, thoughts?
I'm against marijuana, period. I don't care whether it's legal or illegal, I'm against it. So I see no reason that the town council should promote the sale of recreational marijuana by pushing this.
We're not promoting the sale, we're just giving the people an opportunity. We're not necessarily getting out there and saying, I'm in favor of. We're just saying, you have an opportunity if you want to vote on this issue. We're neither, you know, pro or against.
Right. They
We
can be
just-
pro or against it, but without that question being put on the ballot, they don't really have a say that they don't want it or they do want it.
They're gonna have to get out and vote.
So if we don't put anything on the ballot at all,
That's the question. What happens?
are we, you know, are the municipality regulations superseded by state instructions? State regulations?
Probably in this situation, yes.
So if we put on the ballot and
Is there
We get a
something that
no.
says if you do nothing, if the town does nothing, is there anything out there that says?
No, the the state statute thing is like 300 pages.
Oh,
So
I read 180 of it that we received in the link.
I didn't see that, but I can make a few phone calls and find out.
I haven't seen it.
I
But
would-
didn't land use already vote to, what was,
Land use put this fact
not
sheet
land, oh, okay, sorry.
forward to us for stamp of approval to move it into the events magazine.
Oh, to the events.
And
So-
we voted on the question to be put on the ballot, which was question number 1, because we thought that was the most clear-cut question.
I agree.
Yeah, no argument there, no
Right.
argument there.
No, yeah, no argument there, and no argument that I agree we should not do nothing. We
Okay.
should make the public aware of this in some fashion.
Okay, when is this issue of Events Magazine coming out?
July.
No, I think it's August. I wrote it down.
Could we put something in there telling them, explaining what they need to do?
Oh, the size of that sheet?
Well, put the fact sheet in and say, if you're interested in voting on this in a referendum, you need,
To get out and vote.
right,
We would have to have that fact sheet ready no later than July 24th, and it would come out around August 29th. That's when the events magazine would come out. The next one would come out around November 21st, which is after
The election.
the election. So we would have to have that ready if you wanted to put facts out in preparation, so that when people, they know that there's gonna be a question, and these are the things that the state law
well, then if
says.
we put this out in the Events Magazine, it goes to every household. If they don't read it, nothing we can do, and then put it on, can it go on the ballot in November?
If you folks vote on it, and you have to vote on the question by the end of August, to get the question to the state secretary's office so that it can be included.
The time is ticking.
This is the end, well, you won't meet again till May.
Doesn't seem like this is all that pressing. I
It-
think
it
that we
doesn't,
could
and I
certainly
would
go
still-
look up some and get some answers to some of the
Yeah.
questions we have
Yeah,
prior
it's-
to doing anything on this.
I agree. It's not on our agenda as an action item. It's on as a discussion item, and I would still like to better understand affirmatively why we would do this without honoring the provision to do the petition.
Well, in lieu of the petition, if we put it out there for them and tell them that this is a question on the ballot in November, we're giving them the information. It's going to be on the ballot. Here's the lowdown on all of that. This way it would avoid having to do the 10%. We're providing them information without taking a stand.
Okay,
And then the question would be, I think we all agree on that.
okay, so we have a couple of questions. We need to know what happens if, for some reason, what if the council were to say, you know, we're not going to put it on the ballot without a petition, and the petition fails, then what?
Well, then it fails, it's gone.
Right, but then what? Like if there was somebody in the mix said that if we did nothing, it automatically becomes the law of the land anyway.
But we've allowed them to circulate a petition. We didn't get or you didn't get the required number of votes,
Right.
10%.
Was it, did someone indicate to you, you mentioned that Mike Cherry mentioned that were we to do nothing, the statute eventually takes effect anyway.
That's what he said.
We're still only allowed one shop
Mhm.
in this whole town, and somebody has to come forward with a lot of bucks to do this. There might not be anybody interested in even doing it, and I don't know where
Could be
the.
somebody from out of state who that.
Do you have to be a resident of the town, a citizen resident?
I don't know.
We have people from out of town, from New Jersey, buying homes for Airbnbs. What makes you think they won't do this?
Oh, I think that if there's an opportunity to make money, somebody's gonna step into that
Right.
zone.
Mhm.
And $1 million sounds like a lot of money, but to someone living in New York, New Jersey, or California, it's not.
I bet you haven't been to town. Yes, you don't.
All right, we have some more questions to be answered, but, so we'll revisit this next month.
Yes, I would say revisit this in a month and
So what
Educate
was
ourselves in the
the,
meantime.
what was the feeling of the land use commission? I mean, they put this forward, but are they in favor of what?
They're not in favor, or they're not for or against. We leave that up to the voters.
So what's the next path? What did they recommend as the next path besides putting this out?
Well, we voted on the question,
Okay,
question number 1, and we voted on the fact sheet.
okay.
And then Kevin said it should go to finance and to admin. So, but 3 times questions have been asked of Kevin. Are you sure the 10% petition? And he said we did not need to do that because we can, by charter, the town council can put the question on the ballot.
Mhm. I get the permissible, I get that it's permissible to do it that way. I'm questioning the wisdom of doing it that way.
I say absent any public outcry for this, we can remain silent on it and just let the public determine what they want to do with it.
If you put it on the ballot, that gives them a chance to say yay or nay.
Right.
have
And
an
if they don't say
opportunity.
yay or nay beforehand, we don't get 10% of the town that says yay to begin with, and nobody initiates
No.
it, then what's
That's
it
not how
matter?
it works. Well, if you ask the question, you could be against it and sign the petition because you want that question on the ballot. So you can say no, or you can be for it and you sign the petition because you want the opportunity to say, yes, I want it. The question goes both ways.
Mm,
And if there's no outcry even asking for the question, why
I
do we
don't
need to
think
initiate
I
it?
don't think there is out there because there's just been a little bit in the newspaper about what other towns are doing. How many people read the newspaper?
But what
Right.
happens if you don't do anything?
That's the question. What
Yeah.
happens if we don't do anything? So really, those are the 2 questions. The why would we do this without taking the petition step? And then what
But
happens?
somebody's
if we
got
do
to
nothing?
initiate it, some citizen. Naomi said she would do it, but I mean, if she didn't do it, somebody's got to
Right.
come forward.
Right,
It's not up to us to do that.
right,
Maybe nobody's
So-
interested in doing
right.
it.
And then what happens if we
If we do
do
nothing,
nothing? I'm not saying we should I don't think we should do nothing, but I'm curious, I'd like to know what happens. So we have a little bit more homework to do. We'll
Right, how
revisit this
about
next
our
month.
town attorney? Who's our town attorney?
Paula,
Can we put this to Paula and say,
can't think of her last name at the moment.
Okay.
I think I'll email Mike,
France?
France.
Okay. Okay, good idea.
All right.
Somebody in the know.
All right, any other new business proper to come before the committee?
No,
Then this meeting is adjourned.
okay.
Have you stopped recording?